So welcome dear students. In this video we are going to learn data type and typecasting. That is the second part of the chapter 3. Let's start off the topic. So first, what is data type and why it is required? So basically data type specifies the type of data that a variable can hold. Means which kind of data that a variable will hold, that will be decided by the data type. Means whether a variable will hold only the whole numbers or decimal numbers or character or string or boolean, so that will be decided by the data type. Then why it is required? So let go through the explanation. So actually the compiler contains a phase called the storage assignment phase. So in storage assignment phase, the memory is allocated for different variables used in the program, and the entire structure is created to store the data efficiently. Hence, the compiler must know the type of data to ensure optimum utilization of memory space. For this purpose, the data type is required. Then what are the types of data type? So data type is broadly categorized into two types. One is primitive, another is non-primitive. Then primitive is categorized into two. One is numeric types and another is non-numeric types. In numeric types there are the integers and floating numbers, and in non-numeric types there are the characters and boolean, and non-primitive types there are classes, arrays and interface. Then difference between primitive and non-primitive data type. So primitive data types are independent of each other, means each data type is not dependent on other, whereas the non-primitive data types are dependent on the primitive data types. And the primitive data types are predefined or built-in data types which are already defined by the Java developers, whereas the non-primitive data types are defined by the programmer. And the primitive data types have fixed memory size, whereas the non-primitive data types have no fixed memory size. Its size depends on the primitive data type. The primitive data types are also called as basic or fundamental data types, whereas non-primitive data types are called as composite or derived data types. Some of the examples of primitive data types are byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean. And non-primitive data types examples class, array and interface. Now look at the table. So this is the table containing the size, range and default values of each data type. You have to remember. So first one is the byte. The size is 1 byte. So it occupies 1 byte of memory, and 1 byte equal to 8 bit. So it is 8 bits, and the default value is 0, and range is minus 128 to plus 127. You have to remember both byte as well as bits. And short 2 byte, so 2 into 8 equal to 16 bits. Default value is 0. Range is minus 32,768 to plus 32,767. Then int, so it is 4 bytes, so 32 bits. Default value is 0. Range is minus 2 to the power 31 to plus 2 to the power 31 minus 1. Then long 8 byte of memory, so it is 64 bit, and the default value is 0 capital L, so L is the suffix used for identification of a long number, and the range is minus 2 to the power 63 to plus 2 to the power 63 minus 1. Then float reserves 4 byte of memory, so it is equivalent to 32 bits of memory, and the default value is 0.0 f, so f is needed to identify a decimal number as a float number, and the range is minus 3.4 e plus 38 to plus 3.4 e plus 38, means minus 3.4 into 10 to the power 38 to plus 3.4 into 10 to the power 38. Next is double. It reserves 8 byte of memory, So it is equivalent to 64 bit, and the default value is 0.0d. You can write d or you cannot write, because by default all the decimal numbers are treated as a double. And the range is minus 1.7 into 10 to the power 3082 plus 1.7 into 10 to the power 308. Next is char. It reserves 2 byte of memory, so it is 16 bit, and the default value is \u 0000. It is a null character, and the range is 0 to 65,536. Next is boolean. It reserves 1 byte of memory, but it uses only 1 bit, and the default value is false. Range is true or false. Next, explanation of all data types. First one, integer type. So basically integer data types enable a variable to hold a whole number, both positive and negative. So in this category there are 4 data types: byte, short, int and long. Byte is used for bitwise operation. Now it is out of scope. Next is short, used for small range of integers. Int is used for larger integers, and it is the default integer type. And long is used for large integers, and its suffix is capital L or small l. Example, int is equal to 15, and long mob equals to 9988775566 L. So here L must be written to identify the number as long, because all the integer numbers are treated as a int in Java. So if you want to write a number with long, then you have to write a suffix capital L or small l. Next is floating type. So these data types enable a variable to hold a decimal number, both positive and negative. Under this category there are 2 data types, one is float and another is double. Float is used for small range of decimal numbers up to 6 precision. Precision means after the decimal point it will display 6 digits, and its suffix is small f or capital F. And double is used for wide range of decimal numbers, that is up to 15 precision. It is the default data type for the decimal numbers, and its suffix is small d or capital D. Look at the example here. Float m equal to 3.5f. So here suffix must be used to identify the number as float, because all the decimal numbers are treated as double by default. Then double d equal to 5.5. Here you can write d or you cannot write, no problem. Now look at the example given here. First, float a equals to 100.0f by 3.0f. Next is double b equals to 100 by 3.0. Now system.out.println the value of a equal to plus a. System.out.println the value of b equal to plus b. Now look at the output. So first is the, after division the result will be stored in a variable that is float type. So it will keep up to 6 precision. But second one, it will store the result in a double variable, so it can store up to 15 precision. That you have to clear. Next is character type. So this data type enable a variable to hold a single character, and each character has an ASCII value which is taken into consideration while evaluation. And under this category only one data type is there, that is char, which is used to hold a single character. Look at the example here. Char ch equal to capital A within the single quote. Here ch is the character variable and A is the character literal. Next is int b equal to ch, means we are storing a character variable in an integer variable. So now the question is, what will be stored in the variable b, as b is an integer type variable. So here the ASCII value of the character will be stored in b. Now inside ch the capital A is there, and what is the ASCII value of capital A, now that is 65. So 65 will be stored in B. Next, for a group of characters, so string is used. And remember one thing, string is a class, not a primitive data type. And example, string name equals to within double quote SBCS. Next is difference between float and double. Already I have discussed. Float can hold a decimal number up to 6 precision, where double can hold a decimal number up to 15 precision. And the suffix for float is small f or capital F, whereas suffix for double is small d or capital D. Next is what is arithmetical expression. So arithmetical expression is a group of variables, constants and arithmetical operators used together to produce a meaningful result. Look at the example, a plus b into c. So a, b, c are the variables or constants, and plus and asterisk are the operators, arithmetic operators. Next is what is arithmetical statement. So when an arithmetical expression is assigned to a variable, then it is called an arithmetical statement. Now look at the example here, d equal to a plus b into c. Now a plus b into c is the arithmetical expression. Now when this expression is assigned to a variable, then altogether it will be a arithmetical statement. Next is types of arithmetical statement. So there are two types, one is pure expression and another is impure expression. So pure expression means if in an expression all the variables are of same data type, then it is called pure expression. Example, int a comma b comma c comma d. So all the variables are of one type, that is int. Now d equal to a plus b into c. So now it is a pure expression. Now what is impure expression? Now in impure expression, the data type of the variables are different. Look at the example, int a comma b float c comma d double e. So various variables are of various data type. Now e equal to a plus b into c plus d. So it is an impure expression, and impure expression is also known as mixed expression. Next is what is type conversion. So type conversion is a process of converting various data type into a single data type, and basically it is used in a mixed expression. It is two types, one is implicit type conversion and another is explicit type conversion. So first, implicit type conversion. So in this type conversion, the data type of the results gets automatically converted into the highest data type available in the mixed expression, and it is done with intervention of the without any intervention of the user, means by the compiler automatically. So implicit type conversion will be done by the compiler, not by the user. And in this conversion, data loss does not occur, and other names of the implicit type conversion are Gaussian, type promotion and widening. And there are two possibility of implicit type conversion, one byte then short int long float double, and another is char int long float double. Means suppose in an expression all the variables are present are of these data types, then the resultant data type will be double. If in an expression, if the variables are of different data types up to float, from byte to float, then output will be float type. If in an expression the variables are of different data types from byte to long, then output will be in long data type, and so on. Now look at the example here. One example, int a long b and long c. So here int present and long present. Next, c equal to a plus b, then what is the resultant data type? So now data type of a is int, data type b is long. So output will be obviously long, because long is the higher most data type. Next is explicit type conversion. So in this type conversion, the data type of the result gets converted into another data type depending upon the user's choice, and it is done forcibly by the intervention of the user. So in this conversion, data loss may or may not occur. It is also called as typecasting. One example here, float a b int c. Now I am writing c equal to a plus b. Now a b is the float data type and c is the int. So here we cannot write because it will be a compilation error. And what is the reason? Now float cannot be assigned to int. Now look at the explanation here. So we have only these two types of implicit conversion that is done by the compiler, that is byte short int long float double, and another is char int long float double. But in our example, we are trying to convert float to int, that is float to int, which is not possible at all. So it can be done by explicitly. So what is the syntax of explicit typecasting? Now first you will write the target data type to which the expression will be converted, then variable name, then equal to target data type, then expression. So here a plus b is the expression and a b are of float data type, but our target data type is int. So within the bracket there will be the target data type, that is the int, and equal to this is the variable which is already int type. So you have to practice more. This is an important question in the board. Next, look at some questions. First is system.out.println 5 plus 5 equal to plus 5 plus 5, and next statement is system.out.println 5 plus 5 equal to within the bracket 5 plus 5. So in these two expression, here there is no bracket, here there is bracket. So what will be the output? So before going into the output, there is some explanation. So plus operator has two behaviors. One behavior is concatenation, second behavior is addition. Then when the concatenation will be done? Now when the plus operator will work with string, and when addition will be done? Now when plus operator will work with numbers only. And one more important thing you have to remember, that is all the operators are evaluated from left to right in an expression. Now come to the statement system.out.println 5 plus 5 equal to plus 5 plus 5. Here 5 plus 5 equal to, this is within double quote, that means it is a string. Now 5 is already int and 5 is also int, that is the integers. Now there is no brackets, so plus operator will be evaluated from left to right. So when it will work from left to right, first string will be added with one integer. So which kind of operation will be done? Now that is the concatenation. So concatenation means 5 plus 5 equal to 5. So again it will be a string. Then when this string will be operated with another integer 5, then again concatenation will be done. Then what will be the output? Now 5 plus 5 equal to 55. Now come to the second expression. As there is bracket, so first bracket will be performed. So 5 plus 5 both are integers, so addition will be performed. So 5 plus 5 equal to 10. Then when 10 will be added with a string, so again concatenation will be done. So 5 plus 5 equal to 10. Now come to second question. Same related to the previous one. Int x equal to 22, int y equals to 122. Now system.out.println x plus y equals to plus x plus y. Here within the bracket x plus y. Same here, there is no bracket, so plus operator will be evaluated from left to right and purely concatenation will be done. So output will be x plus y equal to 22 122. But here as bracket is there, so first it will be added 144. So output is x plus y equal to 144. Next question. So it is based on character. So char a equals to small a, char b equals to small b. Then system.out.println a plus b equal to plus a plus b, and here system.out.println a plus b equal to within the bracket a plus b. What is the output? So one more explanation here. So character has ASCII value, but the question is when it will be converted into ASCII. We have two kinds of operation. One is concatenation operation and another is arithmetic operation. So when concatenation will be done, the character will not be converted into its corresponding ASCII. But when arithmetic operation will be done, then the character will be converted into ASCII. So you have to remember this thing. So now the question is char a equal to small a. So what is the ASCII value of small a? ASCII value of small a is 97. Then char b equals to small b. ASCII value of small b is 98. Now come to the expression system.out.println a plus b equal to plus a plus b. So there is no bracket. So plus operator will be evaluated from left to right. So string will be operated with character. So concatenation will be performed. So there will be no conversion of character to ASCII. So a plus b equal to ab. But here bracket is there. So first character will be added with the another character. So addition will be performed. So 97 plus 98 equal to 195. So output is a plus b equal to 195. Next, it is based on typecasting. So int x equal to 5, int y equals to 3. Now double a equal to x by y, double b equal to double typecast x by y, double c equal to double typecast x by y. Here bracket is there, here there is no bracket. Now system.out.println a b c. What is the output? First double a equal to x by y. So x by y equal to 5 by 3. So one integer is divided by another integer. So this operator will give you quotient, not the actual division. So it is 5 by 3. So quotient is 1. So here 1. But when it will be stored in a double variable, it will be 1.0. Now come to the second expression. Double typecast but within the bracket x by y. So first bracket will be performed. So x by y first it will be performed. So again it is 1. When 1 will be typecasted to double, it will be 1.0. So same answer, it will be 1.0. But here double c equal to double typecast x by y. So there is no bracket. So only x will be typecasted to double. So when x will be typecasted to double, it will be 5.0 here. But y is not typecasted. So y will remain 3. So now x by y means 5.0 by 3. So one side is double, another side is int. So implicit typecasting will be performed. So answer will come in double. And the answer will be 1.66667, that is the 15 precision. Now come to next question. Int x equal to int typecast capital D letter, char y equal to small d letter. Now system.out.println x plus y equal to plus x plus y. Here within the bracket x plus y. Here x minus y equal to plus x plus minus y. Now x minus y equal to within the bracket x minus y. What is the output? Int x equal to int typecast character D literal. Now what is the ASCII value of capital D? That is 68. Now char y equals to small d. Now what is the ASCII value of small d? That is 100. As x is a integer variable, so it will store only integers. So here 68 will be stored. But as y is a character variable, it will store d. Now come to the expression. X plus y equal to plus x plus y. There is no bracket. So purely concatenation will be done. So x plus y equal to 68d. As there is bracket present in the second expression, so first addition will be performed. So 68 plus 100 equal to 168. So output is x plus y equal to 168. Now third one, x minus y equal to plus x plus minus y. Here minus, it is an unary minus operator which will be taught in next chapter. So minus y, so this will be performed first. So in this case the character will be converted into ASCII. So minus 100, then rest of the things will be concatenation. So x minus y equal to 68 minus 100, but here bracket is there, so first x minus y will be performed. So it will be 68 minus 100 equal to minus 32. So output will be x minus y equal to minus 32. So hope you understood. Children, you have to practice these things because these are the board pattern questions. Thank you very much.